what is Faker going to play into the Arias? Mumu is going to be the choice here for Delight. This is not with the Callista. It's just in a Mumu. And, you know, he's got a couple of bandage tosses to help himself out, but loses a little bit of power not being paired with the Callista.
Yeah, main issue is that there is no way out anymore. But the FREDIT comp doesn't believe in a way out regardless. So I think that actually works very nicely for them, as it is very clearly a composition that's designed to dive very deep and very aggressively into enemy backlines. And you are FREDIT.
Well, we'll have to wait and see, guys. Let's hop onto the Rift for game 1. Here we go. Once again, match 40. We are almost done with the first round robin, actually, before we do get to the halfway point. That will be in the middle of next week on Friday, where we do hit the halfway point of the summer season. It's already going by so fast. We'll have our teams at 9 games apiece, and we'll see where everybody kind of lines up.
I'm thinking about what the big surprises are of the first half of the split, and I know it's sandbox, but I gotta be very honest with you, fellas. I still find it hard to believe. I've been hurt so many times before. I remember last year when they were set to make it in, and then Summit and Croco had a moment, and it was not a good moment. And things can change a lot, because look at FREDIT BRION, going from a team that, despite all odds, despite having to win some extremely hard matchups at the later point of the season, they were still able to make playoffs. And seeing the kind of flounder like this is, it's just kind of sad. This team was such a pleasure to watch last spring.
Yeah, I think they still have it within them. The issue, though, is that, you know, like we're saying, we're almost chance in this one, as is just gonna go around that word. He is Wukong, after all.
Oh, nice angle here. They have the Mumu.
Yeah, they're going on in. There's the Ignite. Guma is definitely gonna have to flash. He flashes straight into the bandage toss, and that is first blood given over to Gamin. And just like that, you know, that ward, like I said, is not gonna see the Wukong.
Often cohesive comps, and this comp might completely fall flat, because I do see a lot of risks in how you use ultimates, overextending into Guma, into Keria, blowing too much on someone like Owner or Zeus. But the comp is cohesive. It's very clear what it wants to do. Everyone goes in, and putting yourself in a position where your win condition is very clear when you're a team that's losing this much, I think is always going to be a safe bet, and something that FREDIT BRION recently hadn't really been able to figure out.
Yeah.
Might be trying to bait it out though, because they did not actually have vision within the brush, so they don't know if is actually back. Might reach that conclusion now, and I think all that Owner really wants to do is just make sure that they get the shove, and then they can get a back in. There's no objective on bot side, and not really any expectation that FREDIT BRION is going to try and contest here. Might even help to push for a plate.
Ooh, that's a nice chunk of damage as Owner comes in, and Gamin just goes across the lane to somehow go down very late. And finally, Delight is going to pick up the kill here onto Guma, but it's still a 2-for-1 in favor of T1. They also pick up a plate, and a very successful game comes in with the bubble.
Easy ass, and Gamin, unfortunately, not flashing that bubble. Really nicely done by Owner as well to follow up on
Go down to the follow-up E there from the Amumu. Delight picks up the kill as now Sword kind of being baited into this one. That is going to be the Gnar straight into where Owner was lying in wait, and this is a super free kill. Even on the top side of the map. Maybe that's part of the reason why Sword was playing aggressively, as he is now going to hide in the brush here. Faker getting a little bit frisky, 1v2. That's going to be going in. Now we got Lava coming in from the tri-brush. He is going to shut down Owner here. And that means with no jungler on the side of T1, FREDIT can go ahead and take this one, but they're losing an entire turret.
Yeah. I'm glad you caught that, because unfortunately it is in the end a 1-for-1 trade, because you trade sword for owner, which not amazing. Nice setup there by FREDIT on the collapse, but you are losing. I think it was 3 plates. Might end up being 4 by the end of it, and that's not a good trade. That is in fact unfavorable to you in terms of overall gold. And yeah, they're not going to be able to get the final plate, at least for now, but the expect.
He wants to try to pressure Faker out a little bit, but so far, based on the way the trades have been going, it has been quite even. Faker maybe taking slightly better trades, as LeBlanc can do.
Yeah, ideally you try and find a dive, but with the state of your lane at the moment, as you pointed out, Faker not really getting pressured, Gumayushi and carry out on the winning end, so they're not particularly bothered, and as a result, actually setting up a dive and getting a first turret bot is very, very hard. As possible trap being set up here, owner moving around vision and getting Krugs will get spotted now, but still going to be able to get a lot on T. I'm loving this. This is exactly what you want to do ideally. As FREDIT, no teleports available, but there isn't really a wave.
Yeah, Rift Herald is coming down here, so now 4v2 with the Rift Herald. There is not a wave, but there is a Rift Herald to tank, so you can see that Guma and Karya gonna put down some vision. They will respect it for now. Gamin able to pick up that last plate, and in fact, the Rift Herald will get some nice value here for the side of FREDIT. Try to even up that gold. No dive, nothing like that, as Delight is getting way too close to the sun. He's taking a huge chunk of damage there, just trying to push in the wave. And could have cost him his life, but he will be okay.
Valuable regardless of setup. Do you think that the FREDIT comp doesn't necessarily use it as well as some other comps? As
That's
Faker.
why you go Merc Treads, everybody, by the way.
Yeah. If you're really scared, go and flinching as well.
Yeah. True. I mean, you just want to make sure that you're surviving. LeBlanc can do enough damage even without Sword and Boots.
Actually made it. Oh, look, the sweepers.
Ooh.
They don't quite find out. And now playmaking potential. Sword has TP as well. Can go in 12 seconds for a deep TP when Unsealed Spellbook's available. Auntie is going to show.
Here we go. Delight is taking a ton of damage, though. He's just barely out of the range of the culling. And because the engage was way too early, it means that the rest of the team cannot follow up on it. It just kind of allowed Guma to get free damage in and nearly kill the Amumu. So just like that, you had an opportunity and it's gone.
And this is where I think the Faker
trying to make a play here onto the Wukong. Umpty in a bit of a rough spot. Zeus is also flanking in. Owner is getting in that huge Cyclone, but he is eventually going to go down here as the ultimate here from Sejuani will land. But Faker, he's surprisingly tanky throughout all of this. They don't quite have enough damage on Bro to get through his health bar, and that will be a trade up here for T1. Yeah, it's really clean stuff from the side of Faker. He does not panic at all. He actually sets up the kill and the collapse from his team. And now T1, they're just going to go ahead and take this second Rift Herald. Doesn't look like FREDIT want to fight over this one, as they should probably try to set up for this next Drake that is coming up in about 20 seconds instead.
I really hope they can get the Drake, because if not, their comp is looking like it might fall apart to a certain extent. Not because I don't think they can't win fights, but just with the state that this team is in at the moment. Lava does have teleport available, so we'll be able to join in a moment's notice. But yeah, as you pointed out, it has just been a very, very rough time here for FREDIT. They're 2k gold behind. Do have a really strong team fight here. They can get backline access. Guma and Faker need to be locked down here, but Say is currently sitting on Meganar. Is going to time out. FREDIT, they're all here.
Yeah, pretty nice setup for them. You see that T1 are having a little bit of trouble getting vision over that wall, as they don't have it in the pit, but they know this has started anyway, so slowly pushing on in. Faker going to check this now, as you see Owner is putting down the Rift Herald mid, so they're just going to give this one away as the Boomerang does come in, and T1 are not looking for the fight over the Dragon. They just want to zone them away from the mid lane. We'll see if this actually is worth it in the end, as everybody from the side of FREDIT BRION is coming on over. T1, they are looking for the fight. The Crescent Guard gets a lot of value, but in goes the rest of the team. Owner survives for so long, though, as they are eventually going to take down 3 on the backside of the fight. FREDIT BRION forcing it through the choke, and they will get punished for it.
And unfortunately, even though they get the kill on Owner, they invest a lot taking him down, and he was just bait. He's not the important member. Gumayushi throws a full calling in. Faker can just deal as much damage as he'd like to. Very easy.
That ain't it. I'm gonna say that. I don't, we've seen so many players get out of that exact position. A Cyclone has to be used. There's the charm as Owner. He's so tanky at this point. I mean, he has a Gore Drinker, Merc Treads, and 2 extra Ruby Crystals. Like, it's not really gonna happen, especially with Keria right behind him. And the rest of FREDIT BRION not even committing to the fight. They're like, well, we don't want to do that again. And T1, they're just 1-3-1-ing. They have the 3 guys in mid with Guma just getting the farm. They have Faker top, and they have Zeus bot. And they're just spreading out and trying to put on the pressure on the map.
And there's nothing for FREDIT BRION to do here, because even though their hard engage is really good, they're already so far behind that your engage needs to be on point. You need to 100-0 someone, because otherwise you are still going to get taken down. And yeah, T1 are just going to pick more and more as Lava gets bullied away. The rest of the team is there for reinforcements, but overall this is looking very tough for Bro. And then look to the side lane, right? 50 CS up for Zeus.
They're respecting FREDIT BRION 100%. They're like, who knows? These guys could pull out a crazy fight. You know, we don't want to take any risks. And that's what you got to do. You got to be disciplined if you want to win as often as T1 does. As in comes FREDIT BRION, that is a big tidal wave. Only catches the Sejuani though, and that's going to be Zeus getting 100-0'd as Faker comes in from behind, but it's a little bit too little too late. Owner goes down, and now Guma's left all alone. FREDIT BRION came in as 5, and T1 were split up as 5, and that's going to be 3 kills going to the side of FREDIT BRION as Keria is just out of here. Just taking another angle as that should be Hextech Soul now over to FREDIT BRION as the charm comes in. Faker not able to steal that, and that is a 22-minute Soul to FREDIT BRION.
We touched a little bit about the Samira and what it provides, but into a short-range composition like T1, they can do so much.
Flash! Look at Lava! What a setup there! He's gonna find Guma as he flash ults and gets the Everfrost down, and now the rest of T1 once again just left out to dry. Faker all here alone. He's got now. He actually hops back in the distortion, and that's going to be Zeus knocking him into the tower. Are you kidding me? That was perfectly angled. As even Jonas Strong can't believe it. He zooms in. He's like, wait, that's a wall. Perfectly done by Zeus to make the best of an unfortunate moment.
And the troubles for Guma continue. As we said at the top of the day, he has been underperforming relative to the level that we know this player individually has hit. He was one of the hallmarks of a T1 win in spring. Extremely consistent and...
Until now.
As Faker, oh, really nice use there. Uses his sweeper to go in, sees empty. And this time around, on the fort to lose this one, T1, as that will be the Elder. Still very far ahead in terms of gold, though.
Meganar is now available. There's a charm, but really just trying to push them, but it's a bit early, this Meganar. It's still 25 seconds until this does come up. See, the poke is coming in. They're just trying to... Yeah. Just trying to posture here. Boomerang gets a lot of value here. Just trying to slow them down, take down the Frost armor. But Zeus is not in Meganar. Yeah. Slowly pushing in. You can see the vision is there over the wall. Here comes Delight. He's gonna get the Gnar again. Zeus has a stopwatch this time, and the damage is insane from the side of T1. They burst him down. Guma gets a double. And this time around, Bro will not get away with it as double teleport to mid lane. It looks like T1 want to end the game right now.
And a decisive call It felt like last time where Zeus got caught, but T1 learned this time he gets caught on purpose. Has to stopwatch ready. The Velda's favorite item coming through Clutcher. His owner almost dies to a turret. He doesn't care. They're gonna shove in here a decisive call as per usual from T1 who get a clean ace off of what looks like another mistake from Zeus. Works out very nicely and it looks better. I'm seeing smiles on Fred O'Brien's face and I think they've earned them, but still not enough to take down T1.
Yeah, as FAKER looks like he's got stuff to say there at the end.